I am going to make a controversial statement at the very start of this video. Garbodor has one of the most malleable and flexible designs in all of Pokemon's history, and I believe if they execute what I think they might do with Pokemon going forward, I think they can not only bring Garbodor, as well as Trubbish to some extent, out of the general unpopularity that it has cultivated and make it into one of the most creative lines in all of the series. What do I mean? Well, I have just found a way to make Garbodor's wasted potential not be wasted any longer, and I'm going to share my findings with you in this video. This is a huge revelation that I've just come up with, and I am certain that after you watch this video, you will see Garbodor in the same way that I do. Want to see what I got? Here, let me explain. What's crackalacka Toxiquid, my name is Toxiquid, and unlike Pokemon's 7th generation, I actually hold a very special place in my heart for Generation 5 of Pokemon, in no small part thanks to the designs of the Pokemon in these games. Scolipede, Seismitoad, Klinklang, Serperior, Haxorus, Excadrill, Crocodile, Darmanitan, Reuniclus, and so much more are some of the Pokemon that I find are super near and dear to my cold, unfeeling heart. And one of them that I really didn't see the value of until much later is the garbage Pokemon themselves, Trubbish and Garbodor. But as this video is called Garbodor's Wasted Potential, I obviously must have one big gripe with them that really needs to be changed, right? That's what happened in the last one of these videos, so you must be continuing it here, right? Wrong. But there is one big thing that I think would fundamentally alter the way people perceive Garbodor's line. So before we get into any sort of solution, we first need to clear up what the hell Garbodor's line is about. Firstly, we have to answer the question of, what is Trubbish and Garbodor? Well, that's easy. They're literal garbage. Trash. Waste. Another synonym I can't come up with. But it isn't all cut and dry like that, no. You have to realize that Pokemon in Unova were made to be Pokemon in Unova. Much like how this literal lay Pokemon is specific to the Hawaiian region of Alola, or this Japanese rhinoceros beetle was made for the Japanese region of Johto. And as Unova is based on the island of Manhattan, New York, and considering how grimy some places in Manhattan seem to be, with an abundance of dumpster trash cans, alleyways full of garbage bags, and is generally less sanitary, especially when depicted in popular media, a garbage Pokemon honestly just makes a lot of sense. But this gives us a really good jumping off point for Garbodor's design. Garbodor is city garbage, full of stuff like food, cigarettes, what appears to be some form of pump, all encased in that iconic green garbage bag. But that isn't the only form of Garbodor there is. In Galar, it had the distinct honor of being the only Generation 5 Pokemon to get a Gigantamax form, now filled with toy-like objects like a plane, a train, and boat. But if you live in a not super urbanized area like Manhattan, you may find that your trash situation is a bit different. Not every area has the same type of garbage systems, and with this, we can really jump off into some form of solution. But here's the thing. The Garbodor line is complete. Trubbish evolves into Garbodor. I can't really do anything to remedy the line because it already just makes sense. Trash evolves into bigger trash. But there is something here that made for a fun little loophole in how I eventually came up with this idea. Check it. The advent of Pokemon's take on Darwinian evolution is massive from a design standpoint. Revitalizing older Pokemon and giving them a super fresh take on them was something thought only fan games could do. But with the introduction of Alolan forms in Generation 7, they gave 18 previously established Cantonian Pokemon new designs, new typings, new abilities, and new move pools. But with that system, there really wasn't a lot you could do realistically. See, by looking at patterns, I found that there were two ways that developers could have an Alolan form purely from an evolutionary standpoint. There's way 1, where the whole line gets a new form, like Grimer and Muk, Vulpix and Ninetales, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem, etc. Then there's way 2, where the final Pokemon in the line has an Alolan form, like Raichu, Exeggutor, and Marowak. The first Pokemon, like Execute, Pikachu, and Cubone, do not have their Alolan evolutions typing. But in comes Generation 8 in the Galar region, who continues the regional form trend, marking this feature as series spanning and not just a generational gimmick like Mega Evolution, Z-moves, and Dynamaxing. But the advent of Galarian forms shook up three things with the previously established formula. Number 1. Pokemon outside of Kanto can get regional variants, exemplified with Slowking, Darumaka, and Corsola getting variants. Number 2. They reintroduced additional evolutions, giving existing Pokemon lines wholly new forms to evolve into. Case in point, the Zigzagoon line having previously just been able to evolve into Linoon, but with Galarian Linoon is now able to evolve into Obstagoon. And there's number 3, new lines. This one is the kicker, allowing Pokemon lines to redirect its evolutionary line to have a new form. This is a crazy new twist and can be roughly explained like this. We have a Cantonian Meowth and a Galarian Meowth right here. Both evolve at roughly the same time, but when they evolve, Cantonian Meowth evolves into a Persian, but Galarian Meowth evolves into the wholly new Berserker. Galarian Meowth cannot evolve into some form of Galarian Persian, and Cantonian Meowth can't evolve into something like a Cantonian Berserker. They just don't exist. They have the same base Pokemon, but have completely new lines. They also did this with Pokemon like Galarian Yamask into Runerigus and Corsola into Cursula. There are so many possibilities. This last thing is huge and is the baseline for the idea for Garbodor. So how does everything go down? Let me show you. For this video, I've been almost exclusively talking in terms of singularly Garbodor neglecting Trubbish. And yes, I will continue to do so as Garbodor is the main topic of today. Kinda. The thing is, Garbodor won't always be Garbodor, and here, let me explain why. If you caught on to this, what we are going to be doing is making regional evolutions of Trubbish to replace Garbodor, but are fundamentally the same. You might be asking, why not just make regional evolutions a la Alolan Marowak? Well, this is just more interesting and can actually breathe new life into the Garbodor line's name. Note how much attention Yamask, Corsola, and Zigzagoon got after they got new evolutions. If we want to make the Garbodor line popular and into people's favor again, the best way in my opinion is just to reinvent the wheel. And it's not like they aren't opposed to doing this to some extent already, see back to the whole Gigantamax form of Garbodor already in Sword and Shield. So let's get to the ideas. First off, we need a basis. Remember back to when I detailed that Garbodor is made out of city trash? Well, there's different types of trash, not surprisingly. The ones that come to mind first are composting, hazardous, and e-waste for me. So if there's a lot of organic composting waste in Lockstin's Cascade region, why not bring in a Trubbish and evolve it into the grass-type Fertiloader, whose name is a combination of fertilize, odor, and till, like tilling a field. And if there's a lot of e-waste from the amplification machine that needs to be cleaned up in the Norclore region, HoopsandHipHop can bring in a Trubbish and evolve it into the steel-type waste odor. From waste, E is an electronic, i.e. e-waste, and odor. And there's so many ideas for this. A poison rock radiation variant called Radiodor, construction waste for a fighting type variant called Constroder, incinerated trash for a fire type Incinerotor, sewage waste for a water poison Suodor. Hell, you could even spin a fossil fuels type of thing for the ground type Gasoloader. Like Rotom, which will come in a later video, the possibilities are quite literally endless. We already have the golden standard for regional variants in Meowth, with there being so many different types of cats all around the world. What's to say that there can't be different forms of Garbodor all around the world that have adapted to the different types of waste? So I really wouldn't say that this is Garbodor's wasted potential, as much as I'd classify it as Garbodor's wasted potential. See what I did there? That was funny. Don't you pan away from me, I still have a video I have to shoot. And that is my idea for Garbodor's evolutionary tree. What did you guys think? I am not crazy about all the names, but I hope that the artwork and inspirations shine through regardless. Let me know of what you think in the comments section below. Also, surprise! I'm gonna be continuing the Wasted Potential series and will cover new Pokemon every so often. I absolutely love doing these, but don't expect these too often, but expect them often enough to where you get excited for each new episode. I can't release who the next Pokemon is going to be, but be excited as I have a cool idea or ideas for them in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep on crack-a-lackin'.